Back again with another review, and today's review is over the DC Multiverse McFarlane Toys, the Arkham Knight. And to go over the box, once again, 12 plus, 22 moving parts, which can be seen here at the top. Then on the side, it shows the Arkham Knight from Batman Arkham Knight, the video game, I believe. And then here on the back, pretty nice action shot of the figure. So I would say that's pretty darn cool. And then also the Arkham Knight, Batman Arkham Knight. Once again, as we all know, and it's already said. So overall, I think this is pretty nice card design. But here on the side, DC Multiverse, the Arkham Knight's mentioned once again. And then here at the top, window view, since it is, does have a plastic window. And with that being said, let's get right into going into the figure. Once again, like I do, let's start off with the simple stuff, the non-exciting stuff. Once again, simple display stand, don't need to go over it. You already know how I feel. And then to go on to some smaller accessories, you get two of these. I'm assuming they're either detonators or like those little gas canisters where they throw down and then they randomly disappear. So you get two of those. There's the one, and then here's the second one. So that's pretty nice to include two of those, especially since, I don't know much about this guy because I never played the game, but I did watch clips of him before doing this review, and he does use those a lot to get away from Batman. And then he has a typical grappling hook gun. So yeah, that's it with the accessories. Now, like I do in every video, I like to show off the card and then read little information about the characters. So once again, you have the Arkham Knight there on the front, Batman Arkham Knight. Then on the back, you have real name unknown, but spoiler alert, if you have not played the game, I believe it's Jason Todd. So yeah, a little spoiler alert there, but yeah, Jason Todd is who he is. So I'm assuming maybe this was figures made back then, or they just did that to go along with it because Batman did not know who it was for the longest. So besides the discovery of a militia training facility in South America, virtually nothing is known of the Arkham Knight until his arrival in Gotham City, where he quickly earned himself a fearless reputation amongst the city's leading criminals. Working together with Scarecrow, he has sworn to destroy Batman and will stop at nothing until he is defeated. And yeah, with that being said, you can learn that from the video game or just looking up on YouTube why he has that hate. And well, since it's Jason Todd, you probably have a little information of why he hates Batman so much. Now going on to the figure, here he is. I'm just going to say right off the bat, I know from the video game, really up here at the head part, it's really more like digitized. So I think it would have been nice to add some like grid lines of light blue and then a little darker blue for the top of the head to really give it that like digital look, since that is shown off. And then also around the figure, I would say more red, because he also has, I believe in at least the game, he had more blue and red on him, kind of like almost like a camo look. So I think that would have been pretty cool to add onto the figure. So overall, I'd say they kind of cheaped out on the paint scheme, I guess. But maybe he looks like this from other sources, but I don't know all of that information. But anyways, to go along into the typical stuff I do in the reviews, look into his head. Can't do 360. Maybe tough because he does have that little collar there. Okay, yeah. Let's say not really, unless you really just want to drive through the collar. And I don't think that's a good idea. Then, can you look down? Can you look up? Let's see how high you can look up. Seems like this is about as high as he can go because of the collar there here in the back. Then looking down, yeah, once again, it's kind of really, the collar is really kind of causing it not to do too much. So yeah, say probably best it can do is go side to side like that without adding too much wear and tear in the collar. And then moving on to the arm, Okay, his shoulder pad kind of bends up to help you out, but I'll say that's the highest it can go. Then with the elbows, bend about this much. And then obviously his arm can go down that much. It's probably one of the more free-flowing arms I've dealt with. And then his wrist can do 360. Yes, it can. And then once again, can it go up and down? Oh, okay. Maybe not up and down. Let me see if I can do it from this way. Okay. Maybe it just depends, but I think this is probably the highest it can go up. And this is the best it can go down. Moving on to the torso, it's all one piece, so pretty much doesn't seem like you can do much swivel unless you really push the limits. But once again, I don't like doing that because I do not want to break a figure I just got out of the box. But with his legs, can you do the splits? It's kind of going to be stopped here on this side because of that, and on this side as well. So that's probably the best you can get out of him because of the canisters, especially on this side. Then with the leg here, how far it can go back. That's about as far it can go, about 90 degrees. Then on the foot, 360 up and down. That's about as high it can go up. And it's about as low as it can go, or as down it can go because of the armor. Then his toe, on the other hand, oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, it's the highest it can go. Then yeah, that's pretty much it on this figure, I would say. Yeah, not super flexible, mainly because of how much he has as a guy in general with the armor. And then, yeah, just all the details, pretty much that stops the flexibility he has. But at the end of the day, fits with the character. I mean, unless you wanted him to not have any of this armor, that's the only way it probably could have been super flexible. But yeah, just looking at the details, I actually really like the look. Once again, I do kind of wish they had more red and blue, especially since that's a big part of the character in the game. At least from the clips I saw, he had more blue and red over him, especially here at the top, instead of just being straight up black. So yeah, that would have been pretty cool. Overall, I think the paint's pretty nice. And here at the top, I like how they did some like silver around, and they kind of made it not perfect on purpose to show it's battle worn. And they also did it here at the top on the little like bat ears, I guess you can say. If that doesn't also give another hint of who he was close to at one point or who he may be. So yeah, honestly, I think they did pretty good with the paint on all the aspects besides, yeah, the lack of blue and red. With that being said, it's time to go into the final thoughts of the figure and how I'm going to display him. So that's how I'm going to display him. Do wish that there was maybe like one of these canisters that were kind of empty, so therefore I could put that in there instead of just putting it on the ground, because obviously he only has 2 hands, but he has 3 accessories. So at the end of the day, you can only use 2, and one's going to be left out. But with that being said, if it weren't for honestly the, I guess, lack of blue like the game does have at the top of his head, and then on parts of his body also with the red, making that camouflage look, I'll say this figure would be pretty darn perfect. So I feel like he comes with accessories that actually make sense for his character. He has just what's needed, the detail all around with the different armor, as already showed. It's pretty easy to pose. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get like every type of pose in the world. So there's that. However, yeah, if I were to probably give him a grade out of 10, yes, he is probably like one of my favorite, as in detail in the armor. However, I do feel like that blue and red detailing was much needed for this character, considering it's very obvious in the video game that he's based on. So that being said, I'd probably say 8.5. I'll be a little generous just because I feel like that's some main points that were needed for this figure to really thrive and be perfect. But I feel like that was kind of cheaped out for the figure, and that really kind of deducts it for me. But with that being said, it's a great figure nonetheless. I love the detail, love the accessories. And until then, I'll see you in the next video. And so will Arkham Knight.